Hello folks, this is Tom from anti-proton.com, and today I'm here to talk to you about coffee, instant coffee. I read some interesting articles. By the way, I'm holding this camera up and looking at it through a mirror to see myself so I can have a higher quality video, so hope it works. Anyway, I read some interesting articles about instant coffee being radioactive. Oh, just mildly radioactive. Kind of like Brazil nuts have a mild radioactive touch to them. Bananas are even theoretically radioactive, just a little tiny bit. And so, of course, I have instant coffee. I won't talk about the brand that I used. I actually tested several brands, and it's nothing to do with brands, really. It has to do with the fact that coffee is grown in the ground, and the ground contains clay and dirt and other things, and those contain various random radioactive isotopes. It's perfectly normal, perfectly natural. I mean, how do you think it gets into things like tobacco, for example? The little bit of completely unverifiable information that I found was that there was a possibility of monzonite being the rock that's grown in the area, the rock in the area where the actual coffee is grown. Now, I can't verify that. Totally unverifiable. 100%. The only thing I can verify is whether or not I can find radioactivity in the coffee. So I took this coffee and I ran a 30-minute baseline and I ran a 30-minute test of the coffee. I'm putting the whole thing on and speeding it up in like the opposite of time lapse. I'm speeding it up really fast so you can watch the counts for yourself. Now, I've run this test 2 or 3 times, and when I run it myself, every single time I've done it except for one time, I've gotten a higher reading off of the coffee, usually by, good 5-10%. One time I didn't, and I'm not sure what the cause of that was, but when I was in the room setting up the Geiger counter and hit the button to start it for the baseline, and that particular time I got a whole bunch of ticks in a row, so I could have picked up some random thing and offset my test. So the point of the matter is my results are unconclusive, but they lean towards coffee being mildly radioactive, just a little bit. I mean, totally safe, totally safe. I eat it every day. I drink gallons of coffee. It will never hurt you. It's like a banana. Banana produces beta radiation, a little tiny bit. It will never hurt you. In fact, it would kill you not to eat, well, not bananas, but potassium. And with a coffee, I don't think it would kill you, but it would kill me. I couldn't live without coffee. So in no way am I saying don't drink coffee. I love coffee. But for legal reasons, of course, I'm not going to mention the brand I use. It doesn't matter. All of it seems to do it, but I won't mention the brand because, you don't want to anger anybody. But it does seem to be a little bit, but I'll let you be the judge. Alright, and when I get my pancake Geiger Tube, I will then run that across the coffee again, several different types of it, and run a couple hours of video and do the whole thing out and show you every square inch of it. But anyhow, here it goes. And let me cut this off in the mirror. Alright folks, here we go. I have these chopsticks right here, which are, of course, part of the background. All this is measured. Let's see here. I have a plastic bag, which, actually I'm just going to throw that out of the way. Got a piece of paper I was using to move this around with. So as you can see, there's nothing weird hidden in it. No cesium-137 check sources or anything like that. Oh, also look, nothing underneath the box. Oops, I don't want the coffee to go anywhere. Plastic tub. I use this to prop this up against. Nothing. Oops, sound. Nothing majorly radioactive. Let's see, what was that all about? Okay, that's nothing. As you move Geiger counters around, sometimes they tick a little. So we stop to see if they keep ticking. Ooh. I get little spikes every now and then. Anything? Nothing up high. Moving the Geiger counter around does have a tendency to make it tick. Okay, this watch isn't radioactive. I already know the watch is brand new, but whatever. Okay. So we're going to take our coffee, and I'm going to take my coffee package here. Let me shove this down for 1 second. All right, here we go. Now I'm going to try to hold this so you can't see the brand of coffee, but let's get some more. Pretty sure. There, let's see. And just make sure I get all that out of there.
don't really want you to see the brand for legal reasons and whatever. So I'm not trying to say any particular brand is. I'm just trying to say that all instant coffee, all instant coffee, all instant coffee. In fact, technically speaking, I think all coffee, but so far I heard it was instant coffee, so I'm trying it. Now I put these up here, here, and here, and it's important to make sure we get the fat parts of them, because we don't want the Geiger Mueller tube to touch. Okay. Now, be able to do this without touching the tube. Hold on. Don't want to touch the tube. Do not want to touch the tube. There. Now, let's adjust and situate this ever so correctly. And we set the timer for 30 minutes. We'll turn it on in just a minute. Now next, before I do that, pocket watch. Oops, get out my nice little pocket watch. There's the pocket watch, and there's the back. It's a nice pocket watch. Little jewels in it and everything. Put the pocket watch up so you can see the pocket watch. Now, this will be time-lapse photography. So, I'm not even going to be in the room. This should be running straight. There's the plastic. I'm using the plastic tub to hold it up for sure. For 30 minutes. You will not hear me or see me for the next half of an hour. Hopefully this will convince you of things. Alright, let's get this ready to go. And then I leave. as you can see, I got 434 counts. So let us now mark that down. Sample 434 counts in 30 minutes. Alright, now put this here for a second. And just out of curiosity, how much of the tube is being exposed? A good amount. Okay, now we should run the same test, but without any of the powder. Alright, let's see here. To do this, we'll take a piece of paper, move the watch out of the way, put the paper underneath. Kind of do this all like in the same video so you can see everything and people won't be like, oh, look, it's fake. Should be all realistic. Okay, now let us scoop. Wow, that just all, move it up so you can see there's nothing in it, because it was all coming off as like a one piece there for a minute. Okay, there's the coffee. You might want to test it later. Also, keep in mind, well, I'm not going to drink my test coffee, but I actually do drink instant coffee, and I actually like instant coffee. Okay, so here we go. This is our sample area. These are chopsticks, which we will put right there. As you can see, the test area doesn't have anything weird underneath it. Nothing strange. Okay. Let me get all the coffee off of everything. Put these back. 434, right? 434. Now let's go back to normal. Oh, watch. Gotta have everything back. Not just because the watch is neat to look at, but because the test isn't accurate if I don't have everything here. Because if I don't have everything here, then, you know, how do we know that the watch itself isn't contributing a little bit? How do you know? You can't know. And so you have to be ever vigilant. Alrighty, I'm going to start this up again and do a baseline, alright? Baseline is also 30 minutes, so let's get this set. There we go. And pick this up, put it back to the timer.
Hello, folks. The results were quite interesting. Let's see, I have them all written down here where I can read them easily. My baseline was 13.533, repeating of course, counts per minute. And the coffee was 14.466, repeating of course. My God, I gotta stop with that repeating of course joke. It's from the WoW community. But anyway, so the difference between the two is 0.933 counts per minute. So almost 1 count per minute more every minute for 30 minutes. Now, that's not that much. That's enough to maybe say it's probably producing something, but most objects have trace amounts in them that can actually be that much, and that's not uncommon. It's significantly less than light salt, potassium salt, and people just eat that all day long, so I wouldn't worry about it. Eat your coffee. I love coffee. After I'm done with testing this, I might even put it in a cup and just brew it. Radioactive coffee. Anyway, a little funny thing I thought about thinking about here. In a 24-hour period, at 60 counts, or 60 minutes in an hour, would mean that if I took this and put it right beside me, like this, just taped it to my body. Keep in mind, this is coffee. Like you buy this at the store. I would be exposing myself, based on my readings here, to approximately 1,344 total counts in one day. Make sure that I'm getting the good exposure. There we go. I can safely say that if I taped this bag to my body and that I lived my whole life with it on me, it would be less harmful. Less harmful than smoking one cigarette, eating one gluttonous American-style hamburger, a couple slices of pizza, any of those things. One tasty, scrumptious beer. Anyway, so the point of the whole event was to see whether or not coffee was radioactive or not. And I'm going to call this probably a pass. Barely, by a smidgen. I mean, just a tiny little smidgen. It's not very radioactive. But it is sort of technically. And allegedly, it's coming from monzonite, which is monzonite isn't a beta emitter. Various elements in monzonite are beta emitters. So anyway, that would explain why you can't pick it up more than a couple inches away from the actual source. But this has been Tom from anti-proton.com, and remember, science is fun no matter what. No matter what they say about you. Bye-bye.